All right, hi everyone, this is Cora and I am going live. Very excited about this, and maybe before I start our talk today, I'll talk about why I am doing this. So I've been thinking about teaching, and I've been thinking about the things that I want to share, and usually in classes is usually not easy to talk about the practice, right? Because in classes, usually I will need to teach, right, poses and then the practice. But I also really want to start to have more conversations about practice or even yoga off the mat. So I have decided that this is going to be my goal. It's every week I'm going to come up on Instagram and have a short talk. And on Thursdays, at this time, at 9 o'clock, and I will come up and talk a little bit more about practice, right? You know, yoga practice and some of the conversations that I've heard from students, and then just have a little bit of a share. And on Monday, I will also do a little short talk more on yoga off the mat, a little bit more on mindset and stuff. So let's see how it goes, right? I'm just going to keep it open. But now, today is not about my goals, it's about yours. So today the topic we're going to talk about is return to practice. The reason why I want to use that to kick off is obviously today is September 1st, right? And it's the beginning of the month. Is also feel like this is end of summer, right? September, as a kid, my school starts in September. And always remember that excitement and also a little bit of anxiety on the first day of school. Usually because I would go into the next grade, this is a time that I would set goals for my school year. So September is always like a January to me, right? And even as I have become a yogi or yoga teacher, September is always the time that has this new beginning to me. And summer is also the time that a lot of us are away on vacation, or our routines got disrupted. And I hear a lot of students having challenges to kind of get back with the mat, to come back to the practice. And even some of them have returned back to the practice. There seems to be kind of less of focus and just not sure where they're going, right? Or it doesn't feel like there is a specific focus or direction, a very clear direction of where their practice is going. So this is going to be the conversation of today, right? So if you have challenges coming back on the mat, or you're already on the mat, but you would like to just have a little bit more clarity on what sort of practice goals that you want to develop for yourself, and this might be a talk that you would find it interesting. Okay, so let's go, right? So why do we want goals, right? You know, we all know like yoga is not about goals, but the progress. But I think having some sort of direction is quite important, right? I find myself, if I just kind of go to classes and have a well-rounded practice, which we all do, right? We need to have more well-rounded practice. Having some sort of direction, or even something that we can measure our progress, and the progress meaning that, like, you know, the effort that we put into that particular thing is useful and is motivating. Progress is what drives motivation. So when we don't feel progress or cannot measure progress, sometimes we feel meh, right? You know, just kind of very lukewarm, and also eventually maybe just not feeling that inspired. And as much as we want everything, I do, right? I think deep down inside, there would be something that your heart has been telling me that, oh, this is something I really want to work on, right? I've asked students that some of them, maybe they really want to deepen their backbend practice, okay, or some of us want to start start headstand, you know, start inversions, or some of us can be handstand. Some of us starting meditation, right? I want to start going deeper beyond asanas. I want to have meditation practice. One of my practices is actually breath work, right? Is to actually spend some time, 5 minutes at least every day, to go into pranayama. So whatever that is great to have a specific goal, right? It doesn't mean that that's all you're going to practice. It's just one thing that you set up for yourself, and then you build action steps to work towards that goal. And I would recommend you to think of something, this one thing, right, that is a little bit outside of your comfort zone, right? Think about what that is and write it down, right? And then after this talk, I will share with you at the end, like, you know, how I can support you in the ongoing forward, and we'll come back to this conversation again. So please feel free to share what your goal is, but take a little bit of time to think about it. You don't need to have the answer now. So once you have that particular goal, or that one thing that you identify that you want to work on, so it could be, well, I want to develop more shoulder strength and flexibility. For me particularly, I actually want to work on overhead bed bang. So it's shoulders, right? And then and also on a particular angle. So it can be quite specific, but some of us could be more general. I just want to deepen my back bend, so what do you need to work on? And then everyone is different, right? So even if you say back bend, which area are you lacking strength or flexibility on your back bend practice? It could be handstands, right? Headstand practice. So whatever that is, again, take a time to think about it. Now, second step, after you identify the focus, you need an action plan, right? You need an action plan. This action plan is going to be something beyond the classes that you're going to. It's going to be things that you're going to do for yourself. And set uncomfortable goals, but make very small steps, like tiny step, achievable steps. If you're familiar with SMART goals, this is very useful for me. So SMART goals are a very good way to set up your action plan. So SMART is S, like the first S is being specific, meaning that that goal that you create has to be linked to some sort of activity, a thought, or an idea. So the specific is like not just like I want to get better at yoga, right? So it's more like I would like to improve my strength and flexibility in my back bend practice, right? 2 is measurable, right? You know, it can be something that you can track and measure, and this tracking can be a time, right? Or something that you can actually see, you know, when there is a progress. So I would like to meditate for 10 minutes a day. I would like to practice inversions 3 times a week, you know, something like that, right? So you can track and measure. I remember in 2015 when I was, my goal is to have 3 months to work on forearm balance off the mat. Off the wall, right? Forearm balance off the wall. So it's 3 months to take my Pincha Mayurasana forearm balance off the wall. So I have a goal, I have a time for that, right? So it's measurable, right? And then building endurance into that. So that's S is specific, M is measurable, and A is actionable. So it has to have some sort of task and action, exactly what I was talking about. R, the R for the SMART is for realistic. So please set realistic goals, right? I'm not going to say that, oh, I would, by the end of the year, I want to touch my foot when I bend over. I know it's not realistic. That's not my range. This is what I can do. And so set up goals, set big goals, but be realistic, right? Be realistic about what you can really achieve. Something that you know that you is a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but yet is achievable. Timely. I'm not going to set this for you. Let's make it end of the year, okay? Let's make it end of the year, December 31st. What would you like to achieve in 4 months? So 4 months, what is your practice goals? So set one focus, right? Just set one focus because it's just easier. And then trust me, once you have this one focus, the rest will follow. So maybe you just need this one focus to bring you back on the mat, and then you'll be practicing the other things on the mat. So it doesn't mean that I have one focus and I will have to let go of the rest. So don't spend too much time with saying, oh my God, I really want all this, and this, and I cannot pick one. Once you have one focus, the rest will follow, right? So just pick one thing that is deep in your heart that you really want to work on, and then that will really inspire you and then motivates you, and something that makes you, like, you know, excited and tingle. And second is build your action plans, and the plans should be specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timely. Your time is the end of the year, right? Now, doing this not only because we want to track them or see our progress, I think there is one big advantage or component of this is when you have a focus, you become an expert in that particular area. So let's say you want to work on shoulder mobility and flexibility. Not only that you're going to build your steps around this goal, you're going to learn something, right? You're going to learn deeper in the shoulder and upper back area, right? You're going to learn deeper into how to facilitate stronger back bends, right? Or even sometimes even outside of yoga, you will take some classes and movements. So that's what I do. So once a week, I go to a back bend class from functional movement side of things to add that additional knowledge. And you become an expert in that one thing, which is great because we all know we can't learn everything, right? So having a focus would allow you to kind of deepen your knowledge in a particular area of your study and focus. Okay, so now once you have your focus and action plan, it's still a discipline to stick with the plan, right? So here are what you're gonna do after you write down your focus, please share, right? And then also write down the action step. Set up in your calendar to make it consistent, right? Set up in your calendar, write down your notes, so put it in the calendar. If it's not in your calendar, it's not gonna happen, right? So put it in your calendar so to make yourself accountable. Number two is to track your progress frequently, right? I actually use a habit tracker to track meditation and pranayama, right? And then I have an app that, track my streaks, right? So if I miss a day, then my streak is gone. So whatever works for you to track your progress and keep coming back frequently to refine it, right? It may not work, and knowing that, this is an experiment, and but making sure you are doing something, taking little steps, but those steps can pivot, right? And then so come back frequently. Number three is find an accountability partner or friends to do it together. These things require our own discipline, and yoga is our own practice, it's our own journey, but it's always great to do it together, or actually even if you're not practicing with someone together, it's great to find an accountable partner, meaning that you tell someone that this is what you're going to do, right? And then so you feel like you gotta do it because you have someone to support you. I'm going to be your accountability partner if you like, and then I will tell you some of the steps on going forward once the replay is posted. So I'll create a group that we can all share our goals and keep track on each other, and then so just make it more fun as well and feel less lonely to work towards our goal. Now, last reminder. While we are saying setting goals, right, yoga is a journey, not the destination. So the purpose of this is really just helping you find a little bit of focus or some drive, right? Some drive to come back on the mat, to return to practice, and also like really feel inspired. And again, the inspiration and motivation a lot of times is coming from having clarity, having a focus, and then also having progress. So I hope this return to practice talk would inspire you to take a little bit of time to think about what are things that you want to work on, what are the action steps you're going to take, and then also hopefully you will join me and the community together, and then so we can make some friends and then also work towards our goals together. Okay, so this is the talk today. This will be reposted sometime next week, so some of you, if you missed it, you can watch the replay. I intend to do this yoga talk every Thursday before I teach a online class on every Thursday, and also I will also come online on every Monday at 9 o'clock, and that one will talk a little bit more on yoga off the mat and mindset. Okay, that's it. See you.